Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 3 of Wild in the Whites. We're here today with Andrew Buckley here.
Hello.
He is the third member that we're bringing on right now for this Wild in the Whites team.
Welcome to be here.
And this is pretty much just the last of us at this point. First episode, I introduced myself. Second episode, we introduced Paul. And now we're bringing you in here. And it was kind of recently that we just figured out that you were interested in coming on and why. Yeah. So can you just tell us a little bit about yourself, why you're interested in coming on, and what you bring to this team?
So, for me, a lot of it is just being new. You guys have a lot of experience between the two of you, and I've got a lot of experience being out in the wild, you know, between hiking and camping and whatnot. And I've always wanted to branch into the hunting and the fishing and the trapping and stuff like that, but it's never really... I've never really had the opportunity to be with people that do. So when you were bringing that up to me, I was like, hey, this is a great opportunity. And honestly, I think that I might bring something different to what you guys are talking about, because you guys are going to be talking way above my heads, and I might be able to dumb it down for somebody who might not quite understand. So
sure. And I guess before we go too long, we have to show that we have our poster child here as well. Cannon has joined us for this episode.
Hey.
Isn't that right, Cannon?
I was like, I can't eat that.
He's looking for a snack.
Yeah, he can probably smell the brownie on my breath.
Sit down.
So, my background is mostly public service, just like you guys.
Both of us,
You know, I've lived in New Hampshire for...
He's going to steal the show today.
He is.
Yeah. For those of you just doing audio, you might want to check out the video of this. So.
Hey, bud. So, yeah, I moved up here in 2001 and fallen in love with this area. So, this is a great opportunity for me, and
cool.
I'm glad to be here.
So, what started you? You said that you have experience in the wild and the outdoors. Talk a little bit about that. What's your experience level there?
Oh, going back, so growing up in New York City, my parents were both very much outdoors people, and we were coming up to New Hampshire, Maine, Vermont for years, just backpacking, doing some camping. It wasn't until I got up here that I realized that there's actually a whole other aspect to the camping and the living off the land, and what that can provide you, as far as...
Was that your ice maker?
Yeah, I forgot to shut that off.
No, that's fine.
So, yeah, as far as just that whole other side of things, it was completely new to me.
Mm-hmm.
My mother wound up getting really sick as a child. I didn't quite understand what was going on, but it turned out that through industrial farming of meats, she was getting some allergic reactions and poisonings through some of the antibiotics that they give to cows and whatnot. And I've thought that, getting it as close to nature as possible is going to cut that out. And
Sure.
so it was a big learning lesson for me to see that and to be affected by that. But yeah, I think this is great.
Yeah, Paul even mentioned that in last episode about how healthy the meat is, how lean it is.
The meat's way cleaner
Yeah.
to get it right off. Go
So-
out on the land and grab it.
Yeah. So you said mostly camping for your parents being involved in the outdoors. That's
Yeah.
pretty much what they did.
A lot of camping.
And
That was
cannons
you.
make all kinds of noises.
So they were very, very big animal enthusiasts. So they liked the bird watching and the shed hunting and stuff like that.
Oh wow.
So there was a lot of that kind of just being out there, not really being around trails, but just kind of making your own.
hmm
So got into fishing younger, fell out of it, but here I am.
Yep. And you mentioned sometimes when we've talked in the past that you like going out and you have some survival kind of stuff. Does it stem from that with the camping side of it?
That's
or?
a huge background to it. That's really where a lot of that came from. Yeah, there is something just absolutely perfect about getting as far away from cell service and a street light and a paved road as you can get, just to kind of clear your mind for a little bit.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think the best way to do that is just pack up as much as you can in a small backpack and go find yourself.
Yep. A lot of the times, like if I'm putting a stand up or something, I choose places that don't have cell service, so it kind of forces me into just detaching.
To disconnect.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
disconnecting is a huge thing when you're in the woods. Like,
Yeah.
to be out there and not have reception, not have to
Yep.
think about, if my phone goes off, who am I answering?
Right.
Who am I talking to? Like,
Right.
just go out and be with whoever you're with, or just be by yourself is a big thing.
Yeah, and I mean, if you have cell service, it's so easy to stick in that habit that we're all in of just grabbing your phone and checking it every once in a while, or scrolling Facebook.
That used to be the best part about going to Pittsburgh or
Yeah,
going up north
now-
of the Notch. Like
right.
now there's cell service up there.
There
and
is,
It's
yeah.
like, what the frig?
Yeah, no, I hear you. Absolutely.
Well-
And so now, like, if I specifically go to a spot where I know I don't have cell service, then it forces me to do the meditation and just kind of relax and really just become one with everything going on out there. But
I mean, you think about it. When was the last time you were genuinely bored and okay with it?
yeah, hunting
Like,
season.
happy to be bored. Right.
Right.
So, like, now I'm bored. I'm going to pull my phone out and I'll death scroll.
100%.
And
Yep.
when you can't do that, you're actually forced to be bored and be okay with being bored, because what is bored, right?
Right. What is it? Right.
You're listening. You're hearing the frogs. You're hearing the birds, the squirrels.
Well, you said it at lunch today. The most relaxed you've seen me in a long time was the other day when we were out fishing.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I didn't have to think about my phone. I know it's not
Right.
going to go off.
Mhm.
No one's getting hold of me. The only people that I need to worry about talking to are the two of you that were standing there next to me. Other than
Right.
that,
Yep.
don't care.
People know when you're going to be back. If you're not back by then,
That's
give
a
it
different story.
a little bit of time. But
Yeah,
know,
please. We might just be enjoying ourselves.
I don't have to worry about my phone, my pager, nothing.
Yep.
Nothing's going to go off. I don't have to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It really affords you that opportunity to truly be in that moment.
100%. Yep. And it helps you, like, something that I focused on a lot last year was taking away something that I enjoyed every single time that I went out. So, like, if I went out hunting for 2 hours and I jumped back in the truck and I was driving home, I'd tell myself, like, I'd try to list off some things, even if it was just one thing that I wouldn't have experienced had I not been out there.
Mm-hmm.
And just trying to remember that and just being grateful for being able to experience that night, right?
Yep.
And it could have been the littlest thing, like hearing an owl hoot or seeing, just being able to truly disconnect could be that thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you remind yourself of that and stay that positive course, then it's always like you really aren't ever bored. You're completely just quieting your mind finally, And I think that's a lot of like the outdoors for people. People who hike, and stuff like that. I mean, like a lot of people just from hiking, going up and spending time on a summit of a 4,000 footer or something like, that can be very relaxing to some people. So I think that's a lot of like the woods in general just give that regardless of what you're doing out there.
I think it's regardless, like you said, of what you're doing. It's people being able to disconnect and shut down and get away. Hi. People being able to get away from
Not paying attention to me.
the busyness and the aspects of life.
Hey, bud.
You chill.
He's just gonna find a comfortable spot, hopefully.
Yeah, he's just gonna lay on top of one of us and be good.
Right.
Anyway.
But yeah, I think it's kind of a big point is, like we said today at lunch, that being able to find that calmness and that peacefulness without having to see a doctor, without having to do any sort of medication or anything like that.
This one's pretty calm and peaceful right now that he's up in our lap.
Yeah. I think that's just absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kind of where our vision with this Wild and the Whites group is to go, where we're hoping to go with it is we like this podcast, but we also are considering getting into filming some of our adventures when we go out. And as Paul and I talked about on the last episode, it's quite an adventure anytime we get together and do anything. So having recordings of this may be quite entertaining for people to watch.
Oh,
Paul, you're never going to live that one
I'm not going to live that one down. No. That was, classic.
Yeah, for those of you who don't get that joke, the last time we went out fishing, Paul caught quite a glob of weeds, but for a split second was convinced he was pulling in a beaver for some reason. So
I don't know.
It had a good pull to it. It had that right
It had
shape.
the right shape when it was coming out of the water, okay? And the color was there, and I was just like, what is this? And the only thing in my head that made sense at that moment was a beaver.
not weeds. Certainly not
weeds for some reason.
We hadn't been catching weeds all day that day. But
Hey, I was the only one that caught fish that day, so let's just put that out there. Even if they were shiners.
Shiners, they were
Shiners was... Yeah, that's...
minnows.
Yeah.
But you were
Yes,
the only
they
one
were.
that
The only
caught
one that
anything.
caught fish.
They were living beings that breathe utilizing gills underneath water, regardless of the size that they were.
Yes,
Yes,
they were.
So I believe they were fish. Yeah,
Step above tadpoles.
which were also there, and
Yes,
probably biting
and
your hook
probably bigger
sometimes
than
too.
the fish caught.
They were probably bigger than the fish I caught, those tadpoles and polywogs.
But we'll have to
so-
post that picture.
Yes, you should. Yeah, that actually might make it onto the opening reel for videos. Actually,
Oh,
I
awesome.
think.
Glad to hear that.
Pretty sure it will.
Happy to oblige.
Since I'm the one editing, I'm actually positive it will.
As a matter of fact,
So anyway, we had kind of a unique talk after fishing that day, you and me, Buckley, that I didn't realize how into filming you actually were interested in doing in it. So can you talk a little bit about your interest in that, where that came from, what it is, that kind of stuff?
it was going back probably beginning of freshman year. Just got interested in the fact that your mind forgets a lot of things that you don't realize it does.
Totally.
And the fact that there is a lot of history that we don't know about because nobody thought to record it just absolutely intrigues me.
Cool.
I look at the town that I grew up in Littleton, how much it's changed in the 20 years that I lived up there. I look at the town that we're in here, and ice is going.
You got some more ice now.
Got some more
Yep.
ice. And I think about the fact that we haven't been very much built up yet. There's a lot of homes that are going in, but how much is this town going to change?
Oh yeah.
And that's actually what got
We
me
were
in
talking
here.
about that earlier too.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier today, just in the fact that I was telling Zach, like, since the time I started hunting in these towns to nowadays, like, half the spots I used to go as a kid with my dad are now built up to the point where I can't hunt in them anymore. And, like, there's new houses going in all the time, and it's constantly changing, whether it's the hunting pass, the hiking area, like, parking issues, any of that type of stuff. It's changing it all every day.
People that just don't understand the hunting culture, you're not just a nuisance. You're someone who's been doing this for a long time, and they built a house on the lot that you used to walk through. So now you're the problem for them, but
or it's one of the new homeowners on a piece of property you
Yeah.
had permission for years. You didn't know it sold, and you got one of these new property owners coming in. They're like, "What are you doing out here?" And it's like, I didn't know. No one filled me in that the property sold, or old man so and so passed away. Like,
Right.
it's hard to stay up on there's a lot of things changing in this area, and to try and stay up on it and make sure you're fresh, you really got to be putting in the effort.
Yeah, I mean, you can see it just still from the home prices up here, because prices have dropped so much across the U.S. Up here, they're not.
No,
No,
they're
they're
staying, and they're staying steady.
Yeah.
It'll be a couple of years probably before we see them drop again.
Yeah, there's just nothing on the market. Found a beautiful property that I was actually trying to get a pre-approval for, and it was off the market in like 3 days.
Oh yeah,
And I
nothing
mean,
stays.
yeah, it wasn't anything special either, you know. So.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just the idea of documenting change, and you know, we brushed on this a little bit. The fact that it would be really, really awesome for me to be able to show my children, my children's children, the things that I used to get up to.
Right.
You know, so you know, everything from dirt biking to scuba diving, I've been just recording stuff.
Cool.
You know, firefighting, we've got the camera on my helmet, so I've got snippets of this. It's a great video, not always, but that's the, you know, you don't always get the shot you want, but you still got a shot.
You have
Right.
audio of you and I, but
Yeah, and that's the thing, right? You may never get what you need, but you get what you're given. And from that point of view, I've always been into it. Between losing land, losing friends, you always want to take that photo. You always want to take that video.
Yeah.
So ever since then, I've just been heavy into it. And when you brought up the idea of doing some videography, out actually recording some of the adventures you guys go on, I was intrigued. I didn't want to invite myself, but I was like, man, I really hope they ask.
Yeah.
And you were all for it. So.
Well, it's not every day that you find somebody that wants to do that side of it, right? You know,
100%.
There's a lot of people that would love to have somebody like you to be able to film them and be able to do that kind of stuff because of what you said. You want to preserve that memory.
Just watch your drinks over there because walked around there.
Okay. So
This
you
is what
want to do
happens
it.
when you
So
have a 11-month-old puppy who
Right.
won't sit still.
So, you know, like we can always, you know, I think we're a good enough group of friends that we can trade the camera enough that we can all get in on preserving that. But, you know, finding someone that's really interested in doing the legwork, because there's a lot of legwork that's going to go into it. The editing process is going to be insane.
Huge.
So someone that's got interest in that as well. You know, I've got some interest, but certainly doesn't sound like I have the interest that you do in it. So working together on that's going to be awesome.
Absolutely. It's been a good time. But also, I think that having little experience in the hunting side and the fishing side, I think that's going to be exciting for me because, as you guys saw when we went fishing, I'm good for a little bit, and then my mind kind of wanders off.
Yep.
You don't say.
But it's that side where I'm like, all right, I kind of want to take some photos, and I kind of get focused on that. So it just affords us the perfect opportunity where I'm going to be able to learn and kind of pick up on some things that you guys are teaching, probably a few times. And then I'll be able to doing the videography and photos on the side or on the front. And the hunting on the side, so I'm pumped.
But on the same token, too, I think it'll be cool having you out there for Paul and I, because you're going to be excited about things that we kind of may take for granted now.
100%.
You know
I think
what I mean?
he's going to totally get excited about stuff that you and I are just like, meh,
Right.
whatever.
Well, we went for that hike to the orchard.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is awesome. It's this little orchard in the middle of the woods. And I'm like, this is so cool. And you're like, I mean, it's kind of cool. You see some cool things. I was like,
Yeah, I've only taken a couple deer out of here over the past few years. It's whatever. Yeah.
Deer, look at these little trails. They're so cute.
But yeah, no, I mean that kind of rejuvenation, we've all kind of been in our line of work for a little while, so I kind of attribute it to the same thing when someone's new in that line of work and they come in and they have that rookie attitude, and it kind of rejuvenates you, hopefully, or it just makes you a little bit angry the whole time.
Or a little saltier that you're just like, whoa, this isn't cool.
Right. We
annoying.
just got 2 new people, and they're totally revitalizing some excitement for me, and it's great.
Yeah.
I gave one of them a new helmet, and he was just like, "Are you serious?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, this is yours." And he goes, "Oh." Big old Proby shield on it, orange front shield, and I'm like, "This is embarrassing as all get out, but here you go." And he's like, "Yes!"
But at the end of the day, you need that.
Yes.
You need that motion. You need that.
The fire, that's that spark that kind of, we do it.
It resets you. It gets it. Makes you remember why you're in this.
Yeah.
Whether no matter what it is, like there's always something where you get someone new, and they come into whatever aspect it is of a job, a lifestyle, a social group, any of that stuff, and you get that new person in there, and they kind of revamp it or bring something new to the table that gets everyone else thinking and realizing why we do this or why we enjoy this thing. Like,
no, I agree.
It's a huge benefit to have those new people coming into things. So it's going to be really fun, I think, to have you along with Zach and I.
Right.
And get to see all our antics and all the crap that goes on.
And I guarantee there's going to be times where you and I are reading the woods in a specific way, and he's going to go, "But what about like that right there?" And we're going to go, "Yeah, we didn't even see that."
Well,
because we're so focused on how we're so used to reading the woods in a certain way, and he's going to pick up on something totally different. So no, I'm excited for that, because it's just going to be a learning experience for all of us, and having a different set of eyes on it, looking at it in a different way is always good.
I'm really curious to see what he picks out of the stuff you and I miss.
Oh, definitely.
I'm curious to see what it is.
Right.
Because it's definitely
because also like sometimes we'll overthink things. I do all the time. I overthink things in everything I do.
No, never.
So that's something I definitely try to work on, where I'm just like, okay, you've been picking between 3 trees to put a stand in, and they're all within 40 yards of each other. I'm pretty sure, regardless of which one of those trees it is, it's 6 to 1 half dozen of the other.
Which one's more better?
Each tree from the other tree. So
right. And you're probably just gonna sit there and be like, isn't this all just like one big area?
I like this tree.
But it'll be cool. And we're gonna I've got my new saddle set up, and I've got my old saddle set up, so we're gonna try to get you up in a tree in a saddle, and I'm sure you'll be comfortable with it, but we'll try to get you as comfortable, get it set up the way that you want it and everything like that, and hopefully get some filming equipment for being up in the tree. We can work out finances on that between the 3 of us and work on that. So because I think that that'll be a great platform to also just share what we're doing. This is great because we can sit around and tell stories, but it'll be cool for people to see it too. I think that'll be great.
Absolutely.
It'll be fun getting them to. I told Zach that you like flying your drone. You got that. You can fly that thing pretty much anywhere. Yeah. I was like, you're gonna get some overhead video of us probably, and one of us is probably gonna end up being the one that falls on our face. So.
Yeah. If you see any logs in my way, if you can just not watch during that period of time, because I'm not
turn the camera the opposite way.
I'm not very good at clambering over logs, apparently, especially when I'm out with Paul. So
no.
Perfect. So yeah, anything else that you would like to share about just what your plans are for this, or any
or
anything else
you have?
No, so my plan is honestly just to bring that new guy factor. Everybody loves watching a podcast with people that know exactly what they're doing. But I kind of envision this also to have the ability to bring people that are curious about hunting or fishing to be like, oh, watch this episode. This is where he shows Buckley how to do this.
Cool. Yeah, that's a great thing too.
So not only is this going to be for some experienced people that want to maybe just learn some tricks of the trade from you guys, but also some new people that might be trying to get into it, or some experienced people that are trying to show their new people how to do this.
Yeah.
So dealing with new people is not easy. It is a challenge for sure, and I'm just happy to be here and hope I don't get too much of the way.
No, you won't.
No, you won't get in the way.
And
I'm
that's
over
the
there
whole.
humming in the tree, and you guys are like, shut up.
Okay, well, maybe if you're doing a little humming in the
Right.
tree, we'll have a different conversation.
Yeah,
I'll give you a set of earbuds, and you can watch whatever you want if you want.
we'll get a shot collar.
I'll just take the one off Canon here, and you can have it.
No, honestly,
Yeah.
it's going to be fun because you're going to adjust the pace that we work at too.
Oh, 100%.
You know, and so where we may go fast, or we may want to charge hard. Maybe the right thing is to slow down in that situation, and you're going to force us to do that too.
You might
in many
actually
ways,
make
so.
me walk slower.
Dude, honestly, if anything
If
can make you
anything.
walk slower, it might make you a good hunter. So, at least, you know, like pick up your feet once in a while and don't
Hey.
just shuffle the whole time you're walking through the woods.
I don't think I'm the one shuffling. Pretty sure that was you.
No, it's going to be good. It will be fun.
Absolutely.
And it's going to make us remember a lot of the basics that we,
It's going to bring us back to the basics.
yeah.
Fundamentals.
Yep.
No, I'm excited for this. This is going to be a cool journey, and it starts pretty soon. I mean, we can get out and film whatever at this point. You know, I'm out there all the time scouting. I was talking to him about a spot that I scouted out yesterday, and I mean, it was just like an hour trip out and back. It wasn't
And we're talking
very
about
long
going
thing at all.
next week,
next week. What day did we say?
Thursday.
Thursday? Yeah. So we'll figure it out if you
you're
can
off
come with
from
us.
there.
So
Maybe the three of us will get together on Thursday and see where it goes from there.
yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. So
Even
Anything
if the bugs are killing us.
oh, the bugs are going to be terrible. Yeah, they
Bugs
will
are
be.
brutal
It's going to be
right now.
hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was out there the other day, and I wish I had just like safety goggles on because they just wanted to get inside my eyeballs. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, never fun.
No. Anything else?
No, just looking forward to creating content. And
Yeah. We're looking forward to having
bringing
you.
it forward. So.
Paul, anything else?
I'm good.
All right. Well, thanks for watching this third episode, and catch us on the next one.